What's up, guys? We are back with another episode of I Said What I Said,
Le
Le
podcast.
Podcast. The podcast where Kamsz and I say what we say and we mean that shit.
You
I feel like
heard?
I haven't said that in a while.
It has been a minute.
But I am your host, TJ, aka Big Reddington, on Twitter and High Definition on Instagram.
Holla, holla,
Anybody that's ready to get,
dollars.
please stop.
It's your girl Kamsz at Kamsz, KAMSZZ on both Instagram and Twitter, and Sparked
Ow.
by Simone on YouTube.
Ow. YouTube. Yo, it's too early and too late at the very same time.
I'm in a silly mood.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Heard you.
Jew.
So
Ja.
stop.
Yo, remember?
Back.
Do you remember
What was his name?
Francisco?
Francisco.
Panchito. Remember that was
Shout
his
out
name?
to Panchito for
Shout
the
out to
ja.
Cheeto. He used to blow mine. I'm like,
Shout out
LOL.
to anybody who texts ja
Ja.
in response to
The
whatever
first
you're
time-
laughing at. Like
the first time I saw that, I was like, what? And I was like, oh,
ha ha ha.
You're dragging it. Like,
Right.
you could say ha in English.
Ja.
I'm bringing that back.
Nah, I'm letting y'all rock though.
I'm bringing it back.
Y'all wildin', but you can do what you want.
I'm y'all. Because I'm
I
bringing
am
it
y'all.
back.
Please don't bring it back.
I'm bitches.
Stop. Like
What's up?
sis be about to it is me. I
It
am
is
sis.
me. I'm sis. 'Cause he
Um
is I and I is him. I got it.
Cam's is really silly today. And I'm
Always.
here for it. Cause I need a little like uplifting. I need a little
Heard.
uplifting.
Let me start by saying, let's take the time to acknowledge the look. This
Yo.
queen is slaying on a Monday. She wiped the coal out. her
Queen is me.
eyes,
I am queen.
Heard. Got
Like I
dressed.
said, the coal out
The
her
natural
eyes.
look.
You know what's so crazy? I don't think natural. I've podcasted before. Like I've had makeup free days.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys have never seen me. We've always been like pretty comfortable as far as like recording
Making
an
me look bad out
episode.
here.
So they're probably, when you guys watch this, like, what the fuck?
What did she do before
What
she
event?
came here?
Right.
Because I ain't do a motherfucking thing.
The event was work. So here we are.
Work.
See me happy. So here we are.
Here we are.
That explains the
Contrast in
right,
our
the-
outfits. Because
the contrast of what's
clearly
happening
I didn't
right
give a
now.
fuck today on this Monday morning.
No, you gave a fuck.
Maybe
you
next
made it
time.
out. So there's some like level of,
That's a fact, because I definitely slept to the last moment.
because I could
today.
have been sitting here talking to an empty
Nah,
seat
I wasn't gonna do you like
if you
that.
didn't give a fuck.
You don't
like,
get a nigga
damn,
back like
Kamsz.
that.
I'm a man with pride.
You don't do shit like that.
You don't just pick up and leave me sick
Sick
like
like that?
that.
You don't throw away what we had.
Just like that.
This is why. Are we done?
I am finished. Are you finished?
I don't know,
Are you finished?
but we're here.
Yes, we are here. So I'm gonna do this whole episode with a peppermint in my mouth. And
Thanks for clarifying what's in your mouth. Nah, you're not about to do that. That's not gonna work.
no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But we are here and we're back with another episode. So today, if you guys were wondering like what we're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
we're in the month of June, if you didn't know.
June.
And it is Pride Month. That's when the confetti comes down
I ain't see it.
and
yet.
everybody starts hugging. What is that, SNL at the end where
Yeah.
like they're hugging and
Omar, you gotta work on your confetti button.
right.
Shit is a little
The
delayed.
confetti button.
Shit is a little delayed.
The confetti button. First of all, you got to work on everything involved with making that happen. Like we need flip, something drop from the ceiling, like
That would be
a string
lit.
you pull. You got to work on everything. So June is Pride Month,
Mm-hmm.
and it's only fitting that we talk about I don't want to say pride, but we were having a discussion. We always have discussions
Mhm.
just about one's like comfortability with their own sexuality and
or self in general.
And I think there are a lot of things that sort of fall under that umbrella of like comfort with oneself or sexuality. So I actually wanted to break it up a little bit into male versus female, or not versus, but just like men and women.
Okay.
Just to start off with, because see, it gets tricky. Because let me tell you why. Because like my brain is on 1,000 right now, but it gets tricky when you're talking about like men versus women. But then I also think there are some racial aspects that come into play as well.
Culture,
social status. Like there are so many things that like kind of sit under this.
Get in your bag, TJ.
Umbrella.
Get in your bag, queen.
I don't have a bag to get in.
You have like 7 of them with
I
you
have
today.
7. I really brought 7 bags today. But before I jump into my bag, I just want to say shout out to everybody. Like, I just need y'all to know. You were going to do a disclaimer? You can do your disclaimer first. So I can copy your shit.
On behalf of our podcast, here at I Said What I Said, Lay Podcast, we encourage people to drink water and mind their motherfucking business. Carry on.
Yeah, that's always the.
But I think today is very important.
Today specifically, y'all gotta
drink water and mind your business.
And it's getting hot out.
Yes.
Like,
stay
you
hydrated.
gotta drink water. As I said that, Omar took a sip of his water. He's like, I am nowhere in this conversation. I'm letting y'all rock. Drink water and mind your business. But I do want to say, like, shout out to everybody. Yes. TJ, personally, I'm just like super live your life, handle your business. Shit don't got nothing to do with me. Facts. So just shout out to everybody who is like celebrating Pride Month and like really like jumping into this. Shout out to y'all. I've seen so many like pictures and like celebrations and people just being comfortable, and I think that's awesome. Shout out to y'all. I did want to talk about just men versus women, because I do think that there is, I can't speak for men because I'm not a man, you know, but I do find that a lot more, what's the word? Like, there are a lot more challenges I find with men being comfortable with sexuality in general. Like, I find that women are pretty like open and live your life and prosper and yes bitch, like
fuck it up,
yes, fuck it up. And I find that men typically are the ones who are like, I'm not really trying to get jiggy with that. Like, I can't get down with that. I can't fuck with that. Do you think that's true? Do you find that? Because you're not a man, so you can't really speak for men either. But what do you think?
I do agree, though. I do think
Kamsz agrees with me.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I do think that men tend to land on that side of the spectrum where it's like there are more issues with how they view things in that particular nature.
You think that's foul?
Foul? I think it's a limitation. I don't know.
You think it's trash?
It can be trash, yeah. What do you think?
I think it's always trash.
Okay.
Not that it can be, because I think that there's like this double standard.
Absolutely. Oh, yes. When it comes to that, absolutely. Because if you're referring to like women being able to be whoever and whatever they want to do freely, and guys they don't care about that. But then if it comes to somebody that's a male that they know who's doing whatever he wants to do, there is more of a need to make a statement or feel a type of way about it. I do think that when it comes to men.
So I agree with you.
Okay.
And you agree with me.
Yes.
So I have this friend, like this childhood friend that we kind of grew up together in the same area of like where I live. And I still currently live there, but he moved away. And like as we were growing up, I could kind of see that there was like this level of uncomfortability that he had with being who he wanted to be. And
do I know who you're talking about?
You don't know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
Do we know somebody? Hold on. Who do we know collectively? Please fill me in.
I'm not gonna say a name.
All right. Shoot me a text later.
Someone I met through you and another one of our friends. I thought that's who you were talking about. But carry on.
No. Wait, who are we talking about?
I can't say their name. That's not cool.
I know, but now I'm just like, do I really want to sit here without knowing who you're talking about? Like, I really want to know now who you're talking about. I will send you a message. Thank you.
But carry on.
So there's this friend that I have, and I felt like he was uncomfortable with being who he was at the time. Now, today, like 2019, I ran into him a couple of times, and he hold on. No.
Oh, all right.
No. He actually, that person, super comfortable from
jump.
From jump.
That's what's up.
Off rip.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
So this person, I'm your so childhood friend,
sorry.
You noticed earlier that there was a level of discomfort with him trying to be who he wanted to be, who he was.
And a lot of it had to do with external factors. Just people who lived in our area making certain comments and sort of making him feel uncomfortable, poking fun, making jokes, whatever. So in that sort of regard, I can understand why you would be like, damn, like, what's going to happen if I take this to 100%? But I ran into him a couple of times, like over the past few months, and he seems to be doing well. He actually, I don't know what he wants to be like defined as. I just know that he really enjoys wearing women's clothing. So you'll see him out. He got wigs is fire. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you, like super fire. And if I had hair or if I cared for wigs that much, I would literally be on the same type of time. But that's a whole nother story. So this is just something that he likes. And coincidentally, I always see him sort of like in the same area where we used to live together. And there's been these sort of situations where people, men, specifically like older men, maybe like standing on the corner or something, and they see him walk by, see him like dressed how he is. And it's like turned into these whole big situations with people that he doesn't even know. It's just like men having their own opinions about how the fuck he's living his life.
Right.
And then in the same breath, you'll see women walk by like, yo, your shoes are fire. Like just a whole different level of like acceptance. And that just like what you said made me think about that, because I feel like there are those, like, I feel like that's a guy thing. Like just that, oh, what is this nigga doing? Like, a guy has to be a guy. Like, I don't know what it means to be a guy. Like, what does that mean?
I think it just stems from society and how men are socialized, where it's like, oh, you got to be this macho man and you need to take care of the bills and cut the lawn and take the garbage out, and you got to wear this and you got to do that. And if you walk with too much emphasis, this means this. There's just a lot of...
you switch when you walk...
Or if you like to take care of yourself, that means you're too feminine. Or if you like to go to brunch. I saw that on Twitter one time. Men who go to brunch are they're gay.
See, now.
Like, so now you're gay for going to eat and drink with your male friends. Like if a group of guys go to brunch, that makes them suspect.
So now you dragging it, is what you're saying.
Right, but that's what happens on Twitter. So I just think that masculinity for some men has become so fragile, where it's like, why are you so concerned about what another man is doing? And what he's doing has nothing to do with how masculine you want to be or are.
Or maybe it does. Like maybe it makes them feel more masculine to point out when they think that someone else is like maybe that's a thing where it's like, oh, I have to acknowledge this because if I don't, then I seem whatever.
Or you could just drink water and mind your
or
business.
you could just drink water and mind your business.
Yes.
Ultimately,
we should have had Omar mic'd up for this episode.
Omar
I would be
is
interested to.
You see, he opted to drink water, so I feel like he wasn't. He's not here for the shenanigans today.
I got questions.
He's not here for the shenanigans today.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that does make them feel more masculine when they point out,
somebody else minding their business.
I think it's similar, like, when people who need to feel better about themselves point out negative things in other people. So it's in that sense, not that the sexuality part is negative, but just like pointing out something in someone else makes people feel superior. I don't know why, but
it's a form of bullying.
Absolutely.
It's a form of bullying, which is not okay.
Never.
And I can speak on it because I have been bullied before and I have been the bully before. So, no, kid you not, like, I have been on both ends and it's not a good side to be on either one, to be honest.
It feels speaking your truth.
For real, like it feels safer to be on like, oh, let me point out what's going on with other people. But in the grand scheme of things, like that's not what you want to be. And I haven't been a bully with like, in terms of like people and their sexuality and what they choose to do, but just in general, like middle school, high school, semi-high school, I was a little bit of a bully, like a little bit. And it wasn't okay. So I'm not here I can speak on it and be like, yo, y'all wildin'. And I also know what it does to people when you are like the person being bullied. That shit put you in a certain space that's just like...
This is a side topic, but kids are literally like committing suicide because they're being bullied in school. So to me, like it's come to a whole nother... Yeah, people in general. But now you're seeing like younger kids, like 13, 10, 11, and that's crazy to me.
But then I feel like even stuff like that has to do with, look, this 40-year-old nigga on the street, on the corner right now is doing some act of bullying.
First of all, at 40-something years old, standing on the corner, you should be looking at yourself. Instead of worrying about what somebody else is wearing. Right. Because if I see you on the same corner every day, you shouldn't be worried about what homeboy is wearing.
I think it sucks. I mean, of course it sucks, but it sucks in general because there's already like LGBTQ, like that whole sort of entity is already a minority, whether you're black, white,
right,
like race not included, where you live,
your
take
culture,
all of those extra things out of the equation, like you're already a minority. So in a sense, you already are not getting the respect that you sort of deserve, or like that any basic human being would deserve. But imagine if you're lesbian and black, or gay and a man, like it's just, it gets too crazy. It gets too crazy for my liking.
It does get crazy.
So I just wanted to say that I'm not here for the bullying. I'm also not here for being bullied, just to throw that out there, because that tends to happen. I've seen not a lot of stories, but a few lately of like men getting killed because of like their sexuality. I guess someone felt intimidated for whatever reason, or something was happening at like some sort of celebration or like a rally or something, some event, and people are like getting hurt. People are getting killed, and I'm just like,
it's crazy.
It's
unnecessary.
It's unnecessary. Like, I think ultimately you should just like mind your business, and if it doesn't affect you directly, right, drink water too, simultaneously, and like if it doesn't affect you directly, it's all right. Like,
it's okay.
So, I just wanted to say that I'm not here for the bullying.
Ditto.
You're not here for the bullying.
I'm not here for any forms of bullying. I'm just here for people drinking water, minding their business, as I always am with everything in life. Like, I feel like people should be allowed to do them as long as they're not hurting someone.
Do who?
Or themselves, and that's their prerogative. I knew you were gonna do that. I knew it.
Sorry. No, that's first of all, when you hear prerogative, that's the first thing you think of. So let me prosper.
Prosper, queen.
No free promo. So yeah, like I'm just not here for that sort of form of bullying. I'm also not here for being bullied. So I guess since we're on the topic of Pride Month and so on and so forth, at some point you gotta like stand up for the shit that you believe in, and you can't like sort of let people take advantage and feel like they have that certain power over you. In certain instances, I feel like you're only a minority if you say that you are. Like, if you want to be gay, like that shit is not a minority unless you're not comfortable with that. I think in some situations, like people will still view you a certain way. That's nothing that you have control over. And unfortunately, people will make certain decisions based on that may not work in your favor or whatever the case. But I still feel like it's possible for you to come out strong and like come out on top. No pun intended. No pun intended. So yeah, not here for bullying or being bullied. Just be comfortable.
I agree with you to a certain extent.
I was waiting for it.
I think it's easy for people on the outside looking in to tell another person, like, yeah, just be comfortable or just own whatever it is that you're doing. Because like you said, a lot of outside factors may be affecting why they can't be why they can't be comfortable or why they're struggling with whatever they're struggling with.
Like what? Like, be specific. Give me an example,
so, since we're talking about Pride.
Sure.
So people who are gay, lesbian, or however they identify, one, they come from a family. So if their family, and they're very close to their family or whatever, and their family doesn't agree with their choices, that might make it difficult for them to be comfortable with who they are. If they're very religious and their religion condemns that, they might be struggling with who they are.
Religion is a bitch. Sorry. Not sorry.
You said what you said.
Religion is a bitch. Just not like a bitch, but just like it holds so much weight. In that regard, that's what I mean. So yeah.
For some people, religion holds a large weight.
Right.
So just things like that. I think if you're identifying with other parts of your life or other groups, it can be conflicting to be trying to be comfortable with who you are and still try to factor in all the other things that you believe.
Yes. And no. I agree with you to a certain extent.
Love to bite the flow.
I think I agree with you. Like, all of those things could definitely, and they do, like every day, like influence a person, like how comfortable they are with themselves, whether they want to quote unquote come out or not, like whatever it is. But
even, let me say, sorry to cut you off, even if you're not a part of the community, if you're just, if you're a straight or heterosexual female or male, religion could also affect you. If you like to be out partying, drinking, having sex every day, religion might play a role in how comfortable you are with letting people know, or even being out about the lifestyle that you actually live.
I think it depends on the weight that you attribute to those things.
Yes,
though.
Absolutely.
So, I have a friend who, I mean, I wouldn't say she's religious, but like her religion doesn't necessarily support the kind of lifestyle that she chooses to live.
Most religions don't.
And I know some people who are like, yo, I go to church and I do this and I do that, but they also live whatever life they live. Right. And I guess in their defense, they feel like, bro, I'm still doing what I need to do. I'm not out here hurting nobody. I'm not killing nobody, or just whatever it is. I'm not on drugs. Like whatever it is that they're doing or choosing not to do, they feel like that's okay. I think those things do make it more difficult. Like when you have these other factors to worry about. But then I also think in the grand scheme of things, if we go back to everybody just minding their business, you wouldn't feel like, yo, how is my dad gonna feel about this you wouldn't have to walk down the street worried because, yo, if this person, because some people be just harm, like literally what I mentioned earlier, just out here hurting people and killing other people and just because of that, and it has nothing to do with them. So I don't know.
The problem is that people rarely mind their business. That's the problem. that's the world problem. Like people rarely mind their business. So
that's true.
If people minded their business, then yes, a lot more people will be free to do and feel how they want to feel. However, we live in a society where everyone has an opinion on everybody else except for themselves.
That's true.
So
when you break it down that way,
then what do you, not saying that like you're some guru or something, but what do you say to someone who's
excuse me,
who has that issue? They, all right, I'm in a part of a society where people don't mind their business and these certain factors play a big role in my life, but I still need to be comfortable with who I am. So what do you say to that person?
To that person, you mean me, TJ, personally? What do I say?
Excuse me, Siri is wilding.
Oh. Oh,
it just started.
Ask Siri. Ask Siri. What do we say to
Siri
to this
be
person? She do. Or he, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Well, what I would say to the person, if using like what you mentioned as an example, one, you want to keep people around you who support you. Like you don't want to put yourself in situations where that sort of conflict has to come up, where you feel like you have to make a decision between something else or yourself, or this part of yourself versus this part of yourself. You definitely want to keep people around you. Not saying that people around you have to be gay because you're gay. I just mean people who support you, because everybody doesn't have a problem with that, to be honest. It's just the old niggas. Like, soon as we get them out the way,
soon as
they die out. No, serious.
I swear I was gonna say
soon as they die out.
But I don't wish that on anybody.
Yo, it's so you laugh, but it's so like it's serious, because I've had this conversation with my friend and we've spoken about it. Like it's like, and then that's when age comes into it too. Like if we're stepping away from
age,
gender. I feel like people our age don't give a fuck about what the next person our age is doing.
Right.
It be the 50 and 60-year-olds and 70-year-olds that's like, no, this is not how this is supposed to go. So as soon as they kick the bucket, then hopefully it should be okay. But you have them influencing these other people and these people influencing. It's just a crazy chain. It's a crazy chain.
So in this episode, usually you're devil's advocate, but in this episode, I'm going to be devil's advocate.
That's cute.
So you stated...
That's so cute.
Let me check my notes. You said
there
it
we
at
go.
A 16-minute mark.
Now she take notes.
You mentioned that, you know, a main thing is keeping people who support you around you. What now? Sometimes you have like family members and stuff like that who are around you. Are you saying that if they're not fucking with the wavelength that you're on, like you got to get rid of them as well?
I think it depends to what extent.
Excuse me.
Bless you. I think it depends to what extent. If you have Now, let's be clear. Like, just because it's family also doesn't mean that
that's
you need
another
to
episode.
that you need to permanently be around me. Let's be clear. Let's
just
be
because
clear
we're related
on
doesn't mean we're related.
yes,
you feel me?
Yes. Let's be clear on that. Okay.
Next episode.
Sorry, my peppermint. Let's be clear. So, I think it depends on. Like, to what extent that family member or person might feel about your situation, like who you choose to be with or what you choose to do. If it's to the point where it's like they're like harming you physically or sort of things that they may say or do affect you emotionally or mentally, like then mom, dad, cousin, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, pet, whatever, like it doesn't matter. Like you gotta remove yourself for the sake of you being 100%. You have to remove yourself from that sort of situation. And I think that is worse when it comes from family. It's like, bro, like family is supposed to mean this. Like, why am I dealing with this from uncle, but then also gotta risk leaving out the crib to deal with somebody else on the street who doesn't even know me, who might feel the same way. I think in that sort of situation, when it starts to get like dangerous, you gotta get them from around you. Like,
I agree. I do think that family sometimes can be toxic. Not to use that word as a cliche, but I do believe
it's a real word. What a real definition.
Just like friends are toxic and we distance ourselves from certain friends if they're not,
came for me.
Nah.
Came for me in front of me.
Imagine.
Just like certain friends are toxic and friends. You gotta
Nah, so family is toxic too. I don't know. I just think it's easier said than done. I think we're also socialized that, blood is everything, family is everything, loyalty. And, you would choose more people are, you're supposed to be loyal to your family. Like that's supposed to be unconditional loyalty, right?
Yes.
But so I think that people might struggle more so with like cutting a toxic family member off or someone who's just negative as a family member versus like a friend who doesn't fuck with what you're doing.
If you borrow money from that family member every week, then it may be difficult to cut them off. Then I could see it being a challenge. Like, damn, I'm about to get this 100 cash next week. Do I really want to cut ties?
Y'all got family members that give y'all 100 cash?
No, I don't. But
I don't.
Not me personally. Basis? But I feel like, again, sort of tying back to like people our age, I feel like before that kind of was like the thing, like, yo, family is everything. You gotta love your brother. Like, this is your brother. This is your sister. You gotta look out. I feel like now as we get older and realize that we actually have options. No, seriously, like
you my brother, but I could pick
have options. Brother. Like, you my brother, but you wild out, or I can't get down with this. Then it's a right to take a step back. And I don't know if that's good or bad, to be honest. I think it's situational.
I don't know either.
I think it's situational. I think it depends on the situation. Like if your brother nigga showed up late to the restaurant, like you don't gotta cut the nigga off. Like it's not that serious. But in certain, like I said, in certain situations where it's like affecting you mentally, where that shit is like turning into this toxic situation and it's getting dangerous, then it's like, bro, it has nothing to do with brother, sister, whatever. It's about how I feel in the situation with another person.
Right.
And then in that situation, I think it's okay.
You did disagree?
Well. You did
well.
Nigga tested me. No, first of all, I tested mad kids today. Like, I'm not trying to be tested on the other end of things.
It's only right.
Is it?
Yes.
I guess. But yeah, I feel like in that situation,
that makes sense.
It's okay, like, to kind of take a step back and be like,
family members are toxic too.
Niggas been toxic. You came out
we
the
just
wound.
Didn't know.
You came out a toxic wound.
Do you think like there's a like...
Mom, I love you.
Oh,
Nita, I love you. Shout out to Nita.
Shout out
F baby.
to Nita. Is she going pop F baby?
Stop. Shout out to my mom. You not toxic.
Yo.
You have your moments when you be wildin'.
Nah, I fucks with Nita F.
You have your moments when you be wildin'.
Don't they all?
But right. So but yeah, family can be toxic.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Episode coming to you near.
Stop.
Now we're definitely.
I feel like you saying it like you speaking from personal experience. Like family can be toxic.
Everyone has. I don't want to speak for everybody, but most people have experienced some level of
toxic. Though that's like a.
It's a strong word for you.
That's up there.
I know a lot of people who have experienced some form of toxic behavior from a family member. I'm sure you do as well.
Yes, yes. I got a whole list, bro.
A whole slew of them.
No, stop. Stop. Let's save that for like we talk podcast. We talk about toxic family relationships on the next one.
Toxic relationships in the next one.
We'll
get
save
your
that.
popcorn ready.
We'll save that for the next one.
And all my family members who follow me on Instagram.
Stop. Listen.
No, I'm chilling.
Like, listen to this episode. I got some shit to say.
No, I don't have any toxic family members on my social media.
Oh, and on your social media. She like, I got some toxic niggas in my tree, but not on my social media.
Word. And if you do follow me on the sneak tip, what's up? Bang bang.
Bang bang pow. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot of, I guess, different things that come into play. Religion is a big one.
I think religion might be like top. And
religion is a big one.
Culture, I feel like, is top also. Depending on where your family is from and your upbringing, certain things might be unacceptable in your household.
A lot of things would be unacceptable in your household.
Mm-hmm. But then you have like, then you have, people who just like their family just be chilling. Like nothing is, not that nothing is unacceptable, but they just be chilling. Like,
right.
All right, this happened. We'll just deal with it. All right, this,
But then I think that goes back to, like, you asked me, like, oh, what would you say?
What would you do
to this person in this sort of situation? If we're like looking, like thinking about things in the grand scheme, there's always going to be a situation. There's always going to be some religion involved. Or if it's not religion, it's going to be an uncle that doesn't approve. And if it's not your uncle, the person walking down the block next to you who doesn't even know you is going to have something to say. Like there's always going to be something.
Me personally, I think it would bother me. People's who are close to me opinions would bother me more than like the random person on the street. Because first of all, I don't like but so many people. Let me rephrase it. Not that I don't like.
Shout out to you. Shout out to you for not liking niggas.
No, I won't say I don't. I'm pretty friendly. People like me. I like people, but I don't get close to a lot of people. So I'm with that. You're hoping that the people that you are close to will like respect your shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
always.
It would bother me more so if the people around me were like wilding versus like somebody in the street. Somebody in the street that you might never see again. You might feel anger or something towards whatever they said or did, but at the end of the day, like you move on. Hopefully.
Do you move on?
Some people. For me personally, that's how I would take it though.
I agree. I think I would be hurt, like emotionally, like if it were someone who I fucked with, who was like really close to me.
That's the only people that could, for me, hurt me are people that like I fuck with.
I think it's more scary though when there are other people out. Like if it's coming from someone that you don't know, because you never know what a person is going to do.
True.
So I think it's a different level of like,
that's fear versus like hurt.
Like, is it okay? Like, you got to think twice about walking down this certain block and it's a group of niggas down there. Like, technically, you could walk down the fucking block if you wanted to, but
you got to think.
You got to take certain things into account. Like, yo, I could be minding my business, but are they gonna mind theirs when I get down there? Like,
is it crazy to you that this is like real life in 2019?
I think it's crazy that this is real life in general. Like, I can't give you a certain time frame of when I started feeling like, oh, like, let people rock. Like, I just feel like I've always been like this. Like, I can't even pinpoint a particular day.
I think I've always been like this as well. Like, I remember, I won't say any name, but I remember someone coming out to me, and at first I thought they were joking, so I just laughed, and then I kept it moving.
Get a load of this. Because don't keep Kamalia around you, because clearly she's not here for the support.
Then they hit me later and was like, yo, remember what I told you earlier? Like, no, I was
dead ass.
I was like, oh, okay.
You're horrible.
It's like, oh, that's all you're gonna say? I'm like, why would, like, I don't care about that. Like, you're my friend.
What do you expect me to say?
Right. But I think that that's something that goes through people's mind. It's like, is this person gonna accept me? Are they gonna stop fucking with me because I told them this about me? Are they gonna judge me, or are these misconceptions? What are they gonna think about me because I disclosed this about myself? So that was years ago. I was probably in high school at that time, and I was just like, listen, whatever makes you happy, like, I don't care. And I was, in high school, you're not the
I don't care
most mature person in the world because you're still growing. But I remember being like in high school and just like, it was crazy to me then for him to think that like I would stop fucking with him because he told me this about him. Like, yo, you're my friend.
But do you think, just a question,
of course,
just me thinking, do you think that because he asked you that question, like, yo, like, that's it? Like, that's what you, like, that's how you, do you feel like that directly ties into his comfort with himself? Because I feel like someone who maybe is like more comfortable, like, yo, this is it, and I'm gonna tell Kamsz what it is, they wouldn't have care. A follow-up of like, right. Oh, like, is that like, I don't know, do you feel like that?
Yes, because I think in his particular situation, he was figuring out who he was. So now, present time, he's definitely very comfortable, or appears to be very comfortable in who he is and what he wants. Versus like back then, you're young. He didn't. I don't know how long he felt that way or whatever the case may be is, but I just feel like for me as a friend, it was just important to me. Like, all right, that's cool. Like, that's what you're doing. All right, cool. Like, it was nothing to me. Doing? Like, it was a very brief conversation. So, like you said, I do think it's a generational thing too, because
of old niggas wilding.
Yeah, I don't feel like our generation gives a fuck. Like, all right, that's what you want to do. You cool? All right, cool.
Some of them do be wilding though,
but that comes from your upbringing and like these old niggas raising them, as you said.
But then I feel like the people in our generation who do be wilding are the boys. Like, I don't find that. Then to kind of break it down further, I feel like it's the boys. Like,
I think so. I don't really see too many instances where a woman's like, "Oh, he's mad gay. Look at him." Like, no, I don't really see that. The only thing that I be hearing women say sometimes, and I've said in the past, is like, "Damn, it's a shame he's gay." Like, because he looked good. Like, that's the wildest thing.
First of all,
then I learned that you really can't be.
How many times you said that in your lifetime?
I can't count.
That's horrible.
Nah, it wasn't wilding, but
I feel like I could count on one hand how many times I've said that in my entire lifetime. Like, damn, it's a shame like a lot. Yeah, gay.
Like, damn, you gay? You sure? Like,
still bad.
Right. You still bad, but damn.
Still a scroing.
Scroing.
He's still a scroing.
Yeah, I think that's the extent of women caring about another person's sexuality.
It's a shame he's gay.
As far as men, I think like even when they're addressing women, it's just like, yo, you gay? But I could make you like such and such. Or I like girls too. Like just stupid things that guys say because I don't know.
And how old are they? 40. 40. Dumb shit. Yeah. But women get the pass. In the grand scheme of things, women get the pass for being comfortable with their sexuality. Like, yo, I'm a woman and I want to fuck with this other woman. There's no backlash from that.
From society?
I feel like from
men.
I would say in general, like unless it's like a particular situation where it's like someone you know, like your uncle, that I was talking about earlier, who doesn't fuck with this situation. Like there might be like certain instances of individual people who are like, oh, nah, I can't get jiggy with that. Yes. But in the grand scheme of things, I feel like if a woman comes out and if I take to my Twitter tomorrow and be like, yo, this is what I'm doing.
You know what's gonna be in
She's
your inbox?
it for me. This is her. And
she's like
she's sis is she. She is sis. Like,
and her name is me.
Bro, if I take to Twitter tomorrow on some shit like that, I feel like I would be
your
okay.
DMs would be lit. Niggas would be like, word, you trying to have a threesome?
No, like, no.
I can bet. Let's do an experiment.
No.
Let's do an experiment. Just post on social media like, yo, shorty got me.
I've been... First of all, is that code now? Like, shorty got me.
That could mean anything.
Hashtag shorty got me.
Exactly. Shorty got you, or like, she got you.
Bro, I could have just gotten robbed. I could have went on a date and shorty pickpocketed me. Like, shorty got me.
Ran off on a bill.
Shorty got me.
$200 date and ran off on the bill.
Exactly.
I think you're right, though. Do you think that has to do because...
Hashtag shorty got me. Out of here.
Do you think that has to do with the fact that women are, like, sexuality is more, like... This is repetitive, but sexualized. Like, guys, when they watch porn or whatever they watch... They want to see, they like seeing two women versus like a heterosexual woman might not turn on the porn to watch two men interacting. I think like it's sexualized. It's more sexualized for two women to be like together. It's more of it's a fantasy or something that more people are into. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying. I'm trying to decide if I agree or not.
Don't play.
I'm serious. I get what you're saying.
As far as like, do you think that might be why some men are more comfortable with women being lesbians or bisexual versus like a male being gay or bisexual?
I think so. I can second that. Because in general, like we are just pieces of meat, you know?
Speak for yourself.
No. You are.
I'm a piece of meat. I'm tweeting that.
You are a piece of meat.
Yo, I'm a piece of meat.
Omar.
Niggas Omar's like, all right, this is the last episode. Wrap it up.
Like, this is it.
Canceled.
You are a piece, like, right. Listen, thank you guys for rocking with us.
Right.
No, women are like, that's how they're viewed. That's
crazy. I'm appalled.
I'm so serious.
It's true though,
like,
because men,
and I think that was a good way to put it, because I couldn't put my finger on why it's okay for women to be together and nobody not give a fuck. But then if two men are together, or if a man decides to dress like a woman, or like it's just not okay. Like I don't. I think that actually is an interesting
theory.
Yeah, an interesting theory.
Word.
I'm curious to know if other people think the same, or it could be like on the flip side. Not that women are sexualized, but that men are maybe not, and just like they're supposed to be these creatures of like, I'm strong and I'm taking charge and I'm leading whatever situation. So when you take a man out of a man's shoes and you put him in a dress, it's like,
that don't mean that he won't give you the 2-piece though,
right?
Because I saw a video on Twitter. So
shout out to the dudes that wear dresses that still be knocking niggas out.
That person didn't have a dress on in the video that I watched, but
no, I didn't see that video.
A heterosexual man try to like violate this gay guy, and he knocked the brakes off of him.
Stop. And I'm glad that he did.
Yeah.
And I hope that because heterosexual man never. I hope he apologized after that. Said my fault. I was wilding. You right. You got it. Like,
I feel like
Shorty got me. Shorty got me. Like,
I think when men being, for some reason, other men see like if you're gay, you're less masculine. Like there are definitely like gay masculine men.
Yes.
But I don't think some men think that. It's like, oh, he's gay, he's soft. Oh, but he's gay though. Oh, I could find him, he's gay. Until you beat the brakes off.
Right. You about to be super sick.
Or this just the perception that a gay man is soft. Like people come in all shapes and sizes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I mean,
don't get your brakes beat off out here in these streets.
Listen, shout out to y'all who still knocking these heterosexual niggas out, like letting them know, like, and it's not to say everything has to get to that level. I hope that it never gets to that level,
right.
But I also need people to understand that
you can't just be going around messing with someone because of their sexuality.
Right,
like, that's
you can't bully
line.
People.
Goes back to bullying. And drinking water and minding your business
is essentially what it boils down to. We giving out free water.
We should do that.
we giving out free water after this episode.
We're gonna be on the same corner
for the rest of June
with the 40-year-old men.
Bro, I'm walking around with one bottle of water a day.
Have you drank water and mind your business today? You should.
And record it.
Yes. That would be. We're going to start after the podcast.
We're going to get 2-piece. We're going to ask the wrong person.
We're going to get the brakes beat off of us. Hashtag Shorty got me.
We going to go up to the wrong person with that bottle of water. And they're going to be like, oh, you trying to be funny? Oh, you trying to be funny?
Boom, boom, bow.
Let us not do an IG live because it's going to be a wrap.
Now we can stop recording. We gotta control it. We can stop recording. We can't do IG live. Hashtag Shorty got me. They not getting both of us though. Hashtag Shorty got us.
So Kam's basically just said it's a wrap for me.
No, I'm saying we're stronger together. Like
she like, oh, they're not getting both of us. It's gonna be you or it's gonna be nobody.
Nah, niggas is not running up on both of us. Come on now.
First of all, you got sneakers on, so you could be out. It's
you gotta listen. It's you gotta take those heels off and put your hands
my
to
flats.
Work.
I'm running barefoot on this ground. Like you crazy.
You about to get to
fucking.
It's gonna beat the shoes off of you. Beat the dress off of you.
Hashtag.
Because you wanted to be a queen.
And then
today.
when I go into work tomorrow, my boss like, yo, what happened? Shorty got me. Like, Shorty got me. It's a dub.
Yo, if I see that hashtag from you,
no,
and it's because you got beat up.
It's
not funny.
It's not funny. It's not funny. We're not getting beat up, okay?
We're definitely not.
We're not getting beat up. And the reason that we're not getting water. Right, the reason that we're not getting beat up is because
my hands work.
We don't that's not That's not where I was going with that. But crying and shit. I feel like we wouldn't put ourselves in those sorts of situations.
We don't know how people are gonna act if we hand out water and somebody
No.
I
didn't mean specifically with the water. I just meant in general, like letting people rock and do what they do.
Oh yeah, I drink water and mind my business.
Right, like we drink water and mind our business. So, we should though. I'm gonna hand out a bottle of water a day, and have people sign media release forms. Like, yo, is it okay if I put your face on
No, I'm gonna give you 2 seconds.
Instagram
Shout out your
story.
Instagram, and that's it.
Right, and just say, "Yo, I'm drinking water and minding my business."
That's it. Drink water and mind your business campaign.
You here for it? You here for it? For the drink water and mind your business campaign?
Heard.
Nah, you out of water. So what's up? How you really feel now?
Dad, he said I got one more sip.
No, but yeah, I think ultimately like that's what it boils down to. Like, just respect people.
Mm-hmm.
Mind your business.
Mind your business. Stop worrying about what other people are doing if it does not concern you.
Be consistent. And then mind your business.
Mind the business that pays you.
But then also be consistent. Yes. Because if your mom walked up to you and was like, yo, I'm dating this woman, this nice lady. She live across the hall.
Talk about it. She live across the hall.
I
saw her at the coffee shop. You always get that. In my Alicia Keys voice.
We can never have.
All right. Let me chill.
Can never have a real moment. Like, just be consistent.
Now say what you're saying. I think that's important.
Nah, just
if your mom comes to and is like, yo, this is my new friend.
I want your mother to get the same energy that you give the other people that you don't know.
Right.
And that's also for like the older people. I'm talking to y'all too. If y'all listen to I Said What I Said Lit podcast, 50 Amen. And up, mind your business and be consistent.
Consistently mind your business too.
Right. Like just do that.
Hold it down.
P.O.P. Hold it down.
Yeah.
Just
you
be
sum
consistent.
It up. Be consistent, mind your business. Have respect.
Yes. For people.
Like we said
for your fellow human being. Like.
Right. And like we said in the last podcast, like, do what makes you happy. Yeah. As long as you're not hurting someone or yourself, do what makes you happy.
Yeah, I feel like that's it. And I know we talked about a lot of stuff today as far as like different factors that contribute to why someone might not be happy or might not feel comfortable. Right. But I think eventually, sooner or later, everybody gets to that point or should get to that point where you like think about yourself first and consider what would be best for you.
Yeah, you got to put yourself first. And I think that's an ongoing learning process. You just got to learn and grow to get to that point. I don't think it's easy, but I think over time, hopefully, you will get to that point.
You guys have the support of TJ
and Kamsz.
I Said What I Said Lit podcast. You have our support. Rock out for the rest of June, but then after June, like July 1st comes, fuck it up. Like, it's lit. You definitely have our support.
Word.
Ow.
Anything else you wanted to?
No. I'm here for Pride Month.
Yes.
And
I'm
Pride here for
Pride
year.
In general.
Yeah, I'm here for Pride community. I'm here for everything.
Here for people doing them and people minding their business as well.
Ditto.
Life. So, without further ado, this has been another episode of I Said What I Said Lit podcast, where we say what we said and we mean it.
Ow.
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
True. No. Well, follow you on Instagram and
us
Twitter.
Individually, I mean.
Oh. Well, now you speaking for the both of us?
Yes. And we'll catch y'all next time because we definitely need to talk about.
Yo, we have so much shit to talk about. I be venting every day.
Oof.
Check out my TJ's head wrap stories on my Instagram.
I'm about to get on the Instagram too.
Listen, do what you gotta do. I'm letting you live your life.
Suki Chronicles.
Please stop.
For when I get the baldy.
You guys can. Kamsz is not getting a baldy. But if she, If she is, I'll let y'all know.
Support me.
I'm supporting you.
Damn, son. Your own niggas.
You guys can follow me on Twitter at Big Reddington. That's BIGREDDINGTON. You can also follow me on Instagram at HiDopenition. That's HI.DOPENITION.
And you can follow me at Kamsz because I'm simple at KAMSZZ on both Instagram and Twitter. And search me on YouTube, Spark by Simone.
Ew.
We off this.
And before we're off this, just follow Omar. He didn't really kick it with us today. He was drinking water, and I appreciate him for that. But you guys can follow him at OS Production 1_. Yes. Ow.
Ow.